Alright, we are back at the potting bench and I'm going to show you how we start our seedlings. So this right here is my seed starting tray, and it has a lid which helps keep the soil moist so I'm not constantly watering it all the time. It does get some water in there. And then this is a slotted tray, and its purpose is to put that seed starting mix in here that is a sterile medium, and then you plant your seeds in there whatever level it needs to be. And then when your seeds come up, you take them out of here and you transplant them into actual more soil base. And that prevents you from needing to put one seed in every little pot. If I started out here with one seed in every pot, if something didn't germinate, it would be wasting a lot of soil and space for me. Whereas this, I can also control, oh, this one's a really good seedling, I'm going to take that one, and I might take that one, and I may not take another one. Also, so this seed tray has holes in it, so if you look in there, you can see that there's holes, which lets the water drain out. And then we have underneath of it a plastic tray that's solid, so it doesn't have any holes. And then this is our seedling heat mat, and this helps heat up the bottom of the soil because our house is 65, 70 maybe on good days when sun's out. And when we put our seedlings near the window, it can even be cooler than that. And so some seedlings need a specific temperature that promotes their germination, and this helps bring that soil up to a consistent, constant heat, which helps your germination. Alright, so I am going to take out these seedlings that have grown, and you can see how floppy this one is. It was one of the first ones to germinate, and he's really wanting to be under more sun, which for us would be the light rack. So I definitely need to get them out. This row right here is purple cauliflower. This seed is from 2011, and so I didn't know how well it would germinate, so I planted 5 seeds. I needed 3 plants. And this seed is from 2016, and so I planted 3 seeds, needing 3 plants, and I had 100% germination on this. So I'm going to either have to find some homes for my extra babies, or just the compost is going to eat them. And then these guys are Calendula, which is a pot marigold, and it is a medicinal plant as well as just a real pretty plant, but it's also a cool weather plant. So I started them early, and then we can plant them out early in the spring. So we're going to start with these. The first thing I need to do is to make some pots. So I'm going to come over here to my shelf, and I have a little bin that says paper pot supplies. So I'm going to pull that off. And I have a paper pot maker, which looks like this. And then I have a stash of papers. These are 4 inches by 10 inches, and it makes a really nice pot. So let me show you how to make one. You take your little pot man. Kind of looks like a little man, doesn't he? Those little play school weeble little guys that I used to play with when I was a child. Assuming you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. And I roll it up. Kind of get everything even. Then I push the bottom in. Kind of mush it all in. I stick it on top of that. Push it down. And I have a little paper pot. So this is what I'm going to plant those into. So now I need to make a bunch of those, and then we'll plant these guys up. So I think that's enough to get me started. I want to plant these into a medium that is going to be good for them until I get them out into the ground. So what I'm going to do, grab my tray here. When I start these seeds, this seed mix is extremely dry, and since it has mostly peat moss in it, it actually doesn't like water, and so you have to moisten it up really well before you put it in there, otherwise it will never take up water. Once it's moist, then it sucks in the water just fine. So I put this seed start mix in here and then pour water in there and then like mix it all up with my hands before I put it into the tray. And that helps make my moisture, makes it easy to keep it moist too. Okay, this particular soil is organic mix. It's just a kind of a basic potting mix. It's not real heavy, and I don't want something that's real heavy because we want those roots to grow and to be able to come out. So it's this mix that's just kind of like that. So when I fill these guys up, I usually fill them up and then kind of tap them down a little bit. You could also make your own potting mix out of like compost and some sand and maybe some peat moss. There's different recipes for that. Right now my compost heap, or my pile of compost, is under snow. So I am being very lazy and I don't feel like going out to the snow pile and digging out some compost. But later on in the season I will need to. I always take out like the chunks, throw that in the compost. Later in the season I'll need to, because I'm going to go through this bag very quickly. And it's much more cost effective to use that. Alright, I've got 6 of them. Alright, with each of these seedlings, they come with, or when I plant them with a tag. And the tag has a number, which corresponds to what it is in my Kindle. So, I have a program that my husband, Timothy, made, and it's called Garden Time. And in it, I can keep track of everything that I have done. So right now, I have my numbers in there, and this one is 109, which is my cauliflower. It's Purple of Sicily. It is Baker Creek 2011, so this is the one I overplanted and I had 100% germination on. And I can keep track of everything that happened. So I got 3-6 started in the seed tray, 3-11, I had 3 plants up. Today is the 13th today? Let's put a new entry in. Yep, the 13th today. I have 5 seedlings up, and I'm going to transplant them into my little seed pots, and I can put that in. On my schedule, it tells me when to sow the seeds, when I should be able to be safe to transplant them outside, and so it has a little check mark list. And then it tells me when I can start my harvest according to what the information on this particular plant is, and then when my harvest ends. So if I want to do a double planting of it, I can know, well, if I need to take, it takes 2 months to go, almost 3 months to go from seed to harvest. If I want another harvest, if I plant seed in a couple of months, then I can have another harvest before the end of the summer. So for this one, the Cauliflower Purple of Sicily, I have 5 plants. I am going to plant up 3 of these guys, so I'm going to choose my 3 that I want, and I'm going to pick the best ones. I like these 2 guys right here. One, they're short, their leaves are well made, They're nice and sturdy. This guy's really tiny, so I don't know if that's a poorer one. This guy came up first, so that's why he's so leggy. And this guy hasn't quite lost his seed coat, but his leaves are kind of sketchy looking, so I'm going to skip him. So I'm going to go with these three right here that I'm going to dig up and transplant. So I'm going to use my little stake and push it like this, pop them out. I plant them usually over this, so that way break them apart real careful, because you don't want to wreck the roots at all. You kind of stick a little hole in there, drop them in, firm them in a bit, and then I fill it up the rest of the way with soil. Because these are brassicas, they're okay if you plant them a little deep. So if they seem like they're kind of leggy, you can plant them a little deep. So I'm going to put that one there. Here's my next one. I usually try to grab them by the root ball. They tell you not to ever grab the stem, because if you break or hurt the stem, you're done. They suggest you hold it by the leaf instead, like this, because if you pop a leaf off, it will grow another leaf. As long as you don't damage it too bad. But so I'm just pop them in there. A little more soil. Alright, now we're going for this last one. Move you over. So you can see his little root hairs coming out already. So he's starting to actually, despite how new he is, he's actually putting out some pretty good roots already. So it's good. We like that. Lots of roots. Sometimes when you get a plant and it doesn't seem like he's doing anything, it could be just because everything he's doing is below ground and you can't see it. So I'm going to label my row 109. Tells me that these three guys are all my Purple of Sicily Baker Creek 2011 variety of my cauliflower. Okay, we've gotten all of them planted. I have them labeled by their tags, so we got our different cauliflowers, and then these are our Calendula plants, and then these are my cabbage plants that I planted up earlier, so we're going to add these in here. And I have them all kind of scooted back against the in the narrower line, because we just have one grow light going on right now. It's supposed to be the best way for them to get water. So what I normally do is I take our city water and I put it in a big jug and let it off gas the chlorine. Chlorine is very bad for life. The reason it's in water is to kill things, and so it's to try to keep our water safe, but it's very bad for your plants. So I put it on, let it off gas for at least 24 hours, and then I use a little watering can with a pointed, like a directional spout. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this in now, and so I'm going to kind of do a little circle right around the edge. And I'm not going to try to get it all at once. I'm just going to kind of go around, and you can see the soil just sort of rising up and then coming down. And my goal is to not knock my little plant over. And so you kind of get a little knack for timing and running it around. And now these two guys don't look like there's anything in there, but they were a couple of seeds that had just started to sprout, and so I figured I'll save them and I'll put them in there. So now I'm going to run around again. And what I want to do is get all that medium soaked in really well, so that way my plant is happy. Now if I happen to knock one of these guys over, he kind of comes out of the soil, I can just tuck him back in. This is another reason why I leave a space at the top of my pot, so then my water, yeah, see this guy, wash him off a little bit, wash his leaves off. so then my water has a place to go before it goes in. If you leave a space at the top of your pot, that's where your water goes. Otherwise it'll just cascade all over and then you won't be able to water well. So you can kind of see on the sides of my pot, you can see where the water's moving in and going down the sides. So they need a little bit more yet. Get them watered in really well. Alright, and then I haven't watered these. You can see how the soil has pulled away from the edge of the paper there. So they're just starting to need a little water. Okay, so my plants, because of this grid work, don't necessarily sit in water. The extra will come off, but it'll add a little humidity to it too. So now let's take these and let's put them underneath the grow lights. Sometimes these little tags get in the way because we want to put the grow light down as far as we can, really close to the top. I'm going to slide this in from this side. Put that in there. So you want to have your grow light about 2 inches above your plants. I think I could probably let it down 1 link yet. So we have these on chains, and when you want to change the height of it, let's see, I want 1 link. So I think that one is right. Let's see, we'll let it down real slow. That's pretty good for those guys. And I think I'll let it down 1 link on this side. The other side's down 2 links. So yep, we're pretty close. Alright, so there we go. Grow, little babies, grow. Now, we also have this back. It's actually a emergency blanket. It's one of those ones you can wrap around you and it's supposed to help keep you warm. We use it for the reflection value, so it can reflect the light back. And some people have them that cover all the way around, but ours is just on one side. And one thing that we can do, plants grow muscles just like people do, kind of. So when you touch them and you move them around, it's like making them do a sit-up. It makes them a little sturdier, or you could blow on them. And some people say talking to your plants helps make them grow. I don't know if it's necessarily the sound of your voice, but when you talk, you are expelling carbon dioxide, and that's what they want. So talking to your plants, let them know that you love them, you want them to grow. It can't be bad, won't hurt. So when we get a bunch of plants in here, we will put out our fan and we'll blow our fan on them, and that will help them to create those sturdy stems. And also, the germination temperature that plants germinate is generally a little bit warmer than what they like to grow in. So the germination temperatures for these are, because we have variety, are a little different, but if you have a little bit cooler temperature, but you have plenty of light, it will actually help create a stockier plant as well. If it's really hot, sometimes that will help them be gangly, actually, unless it's a really warm kind of plant. So anyway, now I get to come down and play with my babies, and they are all set. These lights are set on a timer, and we have them for 14 hours. They come on at 8 and they'll go off at 10 at night. So that way I don't have to remember to turn them on and off. I just need to come down here every day and check on them and water them if they need to be watered and pet them. And that's our babies.